Is the crypto bear market already here? Is this rally we've seen recently just the final dying breath before we're about to go to Goblin Town? In fact, is any little bit of green, any little rally just the beginning of the end, the final chance to get out? Look, a lot of people in this market still have a lot of PTSD from the 2021 bull run. We all thought Bitcoin is going to $100,000. This guy loaded to go with our bags, new paradigm of money. A lot of people didn't take any profits. I didn't take enough profits. Should have sold every damn thing. But spoiler alert, I do not believe the bear market is here. I do not believe the cycle's over. I could be wrong, just to do it on the internet after all, but I believe there will be at least one more epic rally, if not really just some kind of price action till the end of the year, a kind of standardish 4-year cycle, potentially a few more rallies. But let's wind back the clock a little bit. You see, just as the crypto markets in November of 2021 were hitting new all-time highs, Papa Powell over at the Fed signaled that the COVID low interest rate environment was coming to an end. Macro conditions changed, and that's all it took. Markets turned on a dime. Equity markets puked. Crypto markets, real bad. A ton of leverage unwound from the system. FTX collapsed, Terra Luna collapsed, centralized lenders collapsed. We all of a sudden found ourselves grinding out the next 2 years through basically a very brutal bear market with very little hope of things getting good anytime soon. It sucked. So look, I don't intend on going through all that fun time again. As I said several times, my plan is to try to sell off all of my altcoin bags as we go throughout the final stages of this current bull run. All of it. Just Bitcoin and USDC. That's going to be my bags going into the next bear market, okay? But that, of course, begs the question, what if these last 2 months, what if that was the top? What if we missed it, man? Top of the market was in December. It's over. Bear market's already here. Maybe I should just sell now, take what I can get out and run for the hills. Wait for the bottom to come in again. Look, it's an honest question a lot of people have been dealing with recently. So today, let's go through some of the macro of the market cycle stuff, the altcoin charts, with this in mind and try to just answer that one simple question. Did we just hit the crypto market cycle top, or do we still have a lot more to go for the cycle? So let's see what we can come up with. Starting, of course, with the macro of macros. Here's the Bitcoin chart compared to the global M2 money supply. I know we keep talking about it, but the relationship is very important. I think it's important to keep talking about. Bitcoin's in black, M2's in blue. Now you'll see the positive correlation here, but are there any other clues that we can pick up on? Well, if you notice in the last 2 cycles, Bitcoin peaked just prior to the global M2 peak. Bitcoin hit its all-time high in December of 2017. Global M2 hit 3 months after. In the last cycle, Bitcoin hit its all-time high in November 2021. Global M2 hit 4 months after. Now, by the way, a lot of the big analysts are calling that global M2 is going to keep expanding until about Q1 2026, which makes for a top in November, December, maybe October. Look at our current cycle. We haven't seen any of that. We haven't seen a peak in global M2. Instead, M2 led Bitcoin when it hit its new all-time high at $107 trillion this past September. Bitcoin is at $63,000 at the time. So if this cycle ends up rhyming a little bit with the past, then Bitcoin needs to hit a new all-time high, retrace, and then M2 needs to hit a new all-time high. Now, you might be asking, will M2 be going up from here, or is it about to dump? Well, before we go more in-depth into that question, I want to take a quick second to let you guys know about today's video sponsor, which is CoinStats. Now, CoinStats is the best portfolio tracker out there to help you both save your time and to manage your cryptocurrency portfolio, all from one super convenient spot. Look, if you are like me, you probably have a lot of different assets spread out across different wallets, different blockchains, different exchanges. It's a mess, making it very difficult, near impossible, to track everything in one simple place accurately all the time. And if you can't track it properly, then you're probably not managing it as efficiently as you could be. That's where CoinStats comes in and how they can help you. The app does all the hard work for you. Okay, it's going to give you some fantastic and very strong overview of your crypto portfolio in just a few seconds. You can connect up your MetaMask, your Phantom, your Binance, your Coinbase, your OKX, your Kraken, your Bybit, your Trust, wherever you guys are at, okay? Your on-chain accounts, Sui, BNB, Bitcoin, they got it all. Any platform you're using, you can plug it into CoinStats, and it's gonna give you all the information that you need to know. Just drop in your wallet addresses, and you're instantly gonna get a solid breakdown of your profit and loss, including total cost, unrealized profit and loss, realized profit and loss, how much money you've actually cashed out, made, all profit and loss, okay? It's super, super simple, and it saves a lot of time. No more messy spreadsheets, no more manually tracking transactions in an Excel spreadsheet like a nerd, okay? The web version, of course, of CoinStats is fantastic, but their mobile app is even better. Here's the best part. Because you're watching this today, you are going to get a 50% discount on CoinStats Premium when using the link down below in the description. Go check it out, and thank you for supporting our sponsors. Let's get back into it. Okay, so look, Global M2. All we can do is look at current forecasts, and those are saying that Global M2 should make a new all-time high in 2025, and again, likely pump into Q1 of 2026. Specifically, China and the UK's M2 should peak in Q4 2025, Eurozone and US peaking potentially in Q2, although again, some see that potentially pumping into early 2026. The general consensus, though, is that Global M2 should hit around $127 trillion probably this year, or if not early next year, which is an 18% increase from current numbers. A lot of that money is going into Bitcoin. So listen, guys, when I look at the macro of macros, I got to chalk this one up to the bulls. I think M2 is probably going higher, which means this bull run probably isn't over. That'd be a very contrarian bet to say that if M2 is going to go up, the bull run's magically over. It doesn't tend to work like that. So I think I've made the point here, but let's just drill it home a bit more. Here's the US M2 compared to Bitcoin. US M2 peaked at $21.7 trillion in early 2022, and you can see that since that time, it's formed this cup and handle pattern formation. Now, for some reason, it's a bullish chart pattern, by the way. For some reason, all these charts seem to lag when it comes to US M2 data, but according to the US debt clock, we're breaking north of that cup and handle formation as we speak, because US M2 is now at 21.75 trillion, which is a new all-time high. Good job, America. Good job. And to repeat, we're forecasted to go to 22 trillion next quarter. Finally, here's China's M2. Since the beginning of 2020, as proud as the Americans can be about their money injections, at least the Chinese can say that their chart looks, well, pretty big, man. Pretty big. So China's M2 should hit that white line on the chart by the end of this year. China's been one of the biggest injectors of M2 liquidity into the system. In fact, they're the ones that brought us out of the bottom of the bear market. They started injecting liquidity in December 2022. Thanks, China. Now, reviewing all the macroeconomics and the M2 numbers, I do think it indicates that our bull run is not over yet. We're mid to late cycle, let's say. So now let's turn to the crypto market cycle chart. See what that has to tell us, starting with, of course, my favorite, the pi cycle top indicator. Now, this damn thing absolutely nailed the past two cycle tops. And if you've never heard me talk about it, you've probably heard me talk about it, but it's important, so we got to keep bringing it up. It's important to remind ourselves of where we are. And there's been so much fear recently, guys, which probably a bit of a rational fear if we're being honest about it. But if you've never heard me talk about it, basically the cycle top should be in when the orange line touches the green line. That's the top signal, essentially. So right now, the green line is $147,000. The orange line is at $95,000. Now, this indicates that we've still got quite a ways to go in our current cycle, according to the pi cycle top indicator. Now, of course, the pi cycle top indicator model, it's just one model at the end of the day, but it is forecasting a line touch in February 2026 at $258,000. That's based on current price action. If prices start moving up, say we move to 150K by April, for example, that's going to move that line touch much forward, maybe to October or something like that. I'm not so positive about the February 2026 250K top, but maybe an October 250K top. But I do think that we have to mark the pi cycle chart as another one here for the bulls. But having said that, I must say, if you really study this chart and you can, go and take a look at it yourself, you'll notice that these lines clearly crossed in the 2014 cycle. They barely crossed in 2017, and they just briefly crossed in 2021. This all has to do with Bitcoin's, of course, diminishing volatility over time. So the point is here, maybe it doesn't actually quite touch this time. The point is here, if this pattern then continues, then we might not actually see these lines touching at the top of our current cycle, which of course would catch a lot of people off guard because they're going to be watching this, go, I'm not going to sell to a cross, not going to sell to a cross, it doesn't cross, nobody sells. But they might just get very close this time, so keep that in mind too. Think about good enough, not perfect. Now, so just make note of that for when it comes, okay? Now, let's bang out a few more charts here, guys. This is the 2-year moving average multiplier. So you can see here that the blow off tops, they either breach or touch the 2-year MA multiplied line, which of course is in red here. Now look, we're not even close to that right now. Long way away. So again, fuel left in the tank for the cycle. And I'm not sure we're going to touch it this time. There's no guarantees. These are just charts. They're not crystal balls for the future. But I would think that we get damn close if we don't touch it. Maybe at least 75% of the way there, if not 80, 90% of the way there, which would be around a $200,000 Bitcoin, by the way, if we get 75% of the way. Push it a little bit beyond that, 250K Bitcoin number keeps showing up in my life, doesn't it? The vibe on this one in general tells me we've got more room left to go. Check this one out too. I always like this one. It's the rainbow price chart for Bitcoin. Again, you can see that each cycle's blow off top gets knocked down by about 2 Keller bands in the rainbow chart here as compared to the last cycle. Now, if this continues, then we should see a top in the yellow band, which is right now between $180,000 and $250,000, which again lines up with a lot of projections for where we could end up, probably around a Bitcoin Strategic Reserve bill in like October or something. This one is flash, and the bull market's going to continue for now as well. We keep going through a lot of these charts, but to make a long story short, most charts, most technical indicators, macro indicators, on-chain indicators saying the bull run is not over yet. Not for Bitcoin, not for your altcoins. And let's wrap up actually the 2 altcoin charts. So here's the crypto total market cap on the weekly, excluding Bitcoin. Now listen, I don't know if I have anything groundbreaking to share here. Other than that, it would be very, very surprising if our 2024 altcoin blow-off top did nothing more than match the 2021 top. It's possible, but I think it's relatively unlikely. Rather, our current peak just might be something similar to either the initial run-up in early 2021 or the first smaller blow-off peak in May 2021. This is just something to think about, okay? Again, I have no crystal balls around here. Finally, let's look at crypto's total market cap overlaid above the dominance chart. Now, we discussed this chart a few videos ago, but still, let's dive in here and find some nuance. I think it's worth noting that if you look how both of the 2 previous cycles had blow-off tops when Bitcoin's dominance was actually in the 40s, as Ethereum and the rest of alts, of course, then start taking up the lion's share of the gains in the market. We haven't even gotten close to that. In fact, Bitcoin dominance keeps rising. It's remained comfortably above 50% for basically the entire cycle so far and surged recently. So I think you know what this means with regards to our current cycle. It's not over yet. We're mid-cycle, maybe late cycle, but it sure as heck ain't over, according to, again, all the charts and metrics we can look at. So listen, I know the market's been pretty shaky recently. I know the crime happening is exhausting, okay? There's a lot more exotic bullshit coins out there, the memes, some of the AI tokens. Some of those are down bad, may never recover. But I really do not believe that we've peaked in this cycle yet. We'll probably see a return to more sanity when people come to making their investments. We're mid to late cycle, but we're not at the end of the cycle yet, at least not according to any metrics we can look at. When I look at everything that we just discussed, it's all saying that this entire market is due for at least one more major leg up, potentially one more major leg up, big correction lull in the summer, and a final rally Q4 of this year. That's what the data on the ground is saying anyway. And keep in mind, all it takes is for Bitcoin to have one small little pump of $105,000 and everyone instantly goes from, oh my God, it's so over to OMG, where's Zoe back, baby? Let's go, max risk, boom, long it, 100x long. Just like that. Thanks for watching.